We've done a day with cylinders, day with cones, day with spheres. We're going to just kind of mix shapes together. All right, so one question will be cylinders, the next one could be a sphere, the next one will be a cone, right? That's kind of how it's going to work when you take like an EOG or when you take your tests. You know, it's not going to do all of one type at a time. They kind of mix them up, so. All right, let's start with this one. Find the volume of that cone. Eric, what you got? 904.34. No. Keller? 301.44. All right, we got to remember our formulas, right? For a cone, it's pi times radius times height divided by 3. All right. So if you got that 904 or whatever, that's the part you forgot was the divided by 3. So in this case, we're doing 3.14 times, what's my radius? 6 times 6 times 8 for the height divided by 3. Okay? Any questions on that one? I said that's the tricky part for today is it's going to go back and forth between the different shapes. So you got to keep your equations straight. All right, find the volume of the sphere. Carla? 523.33 is going to be correct. So, sphere, 4 divided by 3 times pi times radius times radius times radius. Remember, no height for the sphere, right? So with this one, we got 4 divided by 3 times 3.14. What's my radius? 5. So we got times 5 times 5 times 5. All right. Any questions on that one? So we got a sphere. We did a cone. We did a sphere. What's next? Cylinder? Yeah, cylinder. We got 3 shapes, so find the volume of the cylinder. $753.6 is correct. We have pi times radius times height. That's volume of a cylinder. So we got 3.14 times 4 times 4 times 15. And that gives us that 753.6. Everybody good on that? All right, so those are the 3 shapes. Hopefully, if you didn't remember them, you wrote down those formulas. All right, so let's give this one a try. Earth or other planets aren't exactly like perfect spheres, but we'll assume it's a sphere shape, okay? Earth is a little bit more egg-shaped. Gord? All right, so when you do this one, we got 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 3,963 times 3,963 times 3,963. Y'all, we're multiplying by almost 4,000 3 times. 4,000 times 4,000 times 4,000. It's going to get pretty big, ain't it? So what your calculators show you is 2.6 and a bunch of other stuff, and then E11. What that is that just shows this is a really big number. It's scientific notation. So we got 2.6 times 10 to the 11th power is how that's actually written in scientific notation. We're going to do that unit next. That's our next unit working with scientific notation. That's a way to show really big numbers. So what that actually is 2 and a 6, and it's going to use the other numbers that you had as your decimal. But what I'm going to have now, I have 1 digit right there after the decimal. I would need 11 of them. So I got to add 10 zeros here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. So this is 260 billion. All right, and y'all, think about that. It's the size of the whole planet. Kind of makes sense that that should be a big number, right? Everybody good on that? That makes sense, though? Like I said, the scientific notation part of it, don't really worry about. If you got that 2.6 with the E11, you did it correctly. All right, world's largest ice cream cone. So you got to figure out the weight of the ice cream it can hold. So first thing you got to do, you got to find volume. All right, so first thing, we got diameter. Yep, this should have been obvious. It's a cone. So we got to do pi times radius times height. And then since it's a cone, divide. What that gives me is 23.55. All right, how many of y'all got that part? Yeah, I know a couple of y'all did based on the answers you gave. All right, so now the next part It says ice cream weighs about 19.8 pounds per cubic foot. So I know, I forget who said 4 point something, but you subtracted. Right track, wrong type of math, wrong operation. So take that 20. And when you see the slope words, like each, every, per, that means you're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply this out, and 19.8 times the 23.55, that's going to give me 466.29. All right, so we got a little extra step. Everybody good at least on the volume part, getting that 40 or 23.55? All right, once you have that, like I said, we got a little extra, we got to multiply. All right, so y'all just follow along with this one, okay? I've got a cylindrical glass, height is 6. So I'm going to badly draw a picture. So we're looking something like that, right? It's 6 inches tall, and I have a diameter of 3. All right, so now here's the problem though. It says the glass is filled with water up to a ½ inch from the top. Y'all think about when you're at home, if you get like a glass of something or a cup of something to drink, do you fill it all the way to the very top? Probably not, because if you do, your mama's going to get mad at you, because the first thing you're going to do when you pick it up is spill some, right? Yeah. We don't want to spill anything, so you don't fill it up all the way. So what this is saying is it's filled a ½ inch from the top. So something kind of like that, right? So how high is my water? Taquan? How high is my water? .5. So y'all, if it's a ½ inch from the top, that means, from here to here is our ½ inch, right? The whole thing, top to bottom, is 6. So what's left that we're going to use is 5.5 or 5.5. That'll be easier with the calculators. So now, to find the volume, we got 3.14 times, if the diameter is 3, what's my radius? 1.5. So we got times 1.5 times 1.5, and we got to use the height of the water, so it's times the 5.5. And we get 0.86 if we round. Okay? Everybody kind of follow? That's a little more complicated. We're going to get more practice with some of those types next week, and maybe a little bit today. But that's the type of question you see like on state test stuff, like these that make right. Here's the shape, find the volume. Sometimes you see that. I've seen a lot of test questions where it's here's a picture of a shape, you just have to find the volume. But they usually try to sneak at least one of these in there where you got to do a little extra. Today's Pi Day too, so yeah.